Yeah, looks like nobody on Zoom. Okay, 4 of us. First, actually thinking we might not be able to vote without, unless,
Do you know people aren't coming or they're just
Oh.
running late?
hello,
Hi, how are you?
good, how are you?
Good, I ended up having to join on Zoom, I hope that's okay.
That's great, I think you bring us a quorum, which is helpful, so thank you. First item of the agenda is approval of the minutes from April 29, 2026 meeting. If there are no edits, I think I sent that around, I'll accept a motion to accept those.
To approve.
Thank you, Christie, a second.
Second.
Thank you, Ty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next up is new business. So an update on bands. Town still has not received, as last I heard, 2 signed contracts, but Tom DeServo with the town is following up on those. I think it's just people being slow, checking their emails, so not anticipating an issue. Also on bands, the Spirit of America Fife and Drum Corps reached out, and they also submitted a parade entry form. They're a group of 30 modeled after a Massachusetts regiment from 1812. Jen Allard had previously tried to get them to participate in the past, but they were looking for compensation. This year, I guess they submitted this entry form, so they'll be participating as a walking group and not a hired band. So no budgetary impact there. Parade theme, I think I sent this out, but Orleans Elementary voted and selected Sand and Sea, 250 years free. So we have a parade theme. I'll be updating probably this weekend the website with that theme and updating the entry form. I've had a couple of people reach out because the old last year's form is still on that website. So I just need to gain access and I'll get that taken care of.
With the theme that, about the student that comes along with that, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, a randomly selected Orleans Elementary parade theme winner is Harper Wibby, and she will be riding in the parade. Grand Marshal is next up. So I checked and we don't have a list of past Grand Marshals, so we can't necessarily be certain, but I know from our last meeting that I'm blanking on his last name, but Charles Hollander Isig. Yeah. We know he was a past Grand Marshal like 3 years ago. Recent past.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I think.
Or 2 years
Yeah.
ago. So last meeting, we continued talking about Mike Ford, who was town council, and then Christie brought up Tom Conrad, former Nauset superintendent. Any other suggestions or thoughts on those two? We are kind of getting close to being, making sure somebody's available and wanting to participate. Those are the two that have been brought forward so far.
Some of the past meetings we last year mentioned someone that worked at Friends that seems to know, be part of the community that everybody knows, that is maybe not necessarily associated with the town, but just sort of like a friendly face that, brings the right values and attitude to our town. So I can figure out who that person is.
Okay, somebody suggested that in past
I
years?
think, I just don't know the person's name, so I'll try to dig that up.
Okay,
And sort of like in the spirit of thinking beyond just like people who have held town positions, is there anyone else that's sort of, part of our community that makes.
yeah,
us
and
a good place?
that fits, we did I don't know if it was a few years ago, but John Murphy was
Oh, it's
Grand
in-
Marshal. So yeah, it doesn't, yeah, senior. It doesn't need to be
As long as it
somebody who
wasn't
works
junior.
for the town or works for the community. It can really be anyone.
We probably can't wait till next meeting to decide though, right? Because that'll be the third week
Yeah,
of June.
exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yep.
I feel like we gotta
Good call, Christie.
make a
Yes.
call.
Any thoughts from the road, Bonnie, or the car?
I couldn't hear the, last suggestion, it was a little too quiet.
Oh, that's okay, forget that last suggestion.
Yeah, strike that. I think in the spirit of needing to come up with somebody probably tonight, our two candidates really, Tom Conrad and Mike Ford, who was former town council.
I mean, I think that was your primary candidate was the town councilor. And you said you have a lot of people that think that he's dedicated a lot of time to the town and, I mean, I would go behind that. I think we would have to reach out to Tom Conrad and his wife to see, if he would be amenable to it. So it might take some time. So if you already know of a good candidate, maybe we should just go with that person.
You said that
Okay.
person was
Agree.
already available too, right? Somebody had checked?
No,
Oh,
no,
oh.
don't know. That was, Kevin Gallion brought forward that suggestion, so,
So let's start there and see
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they're available, and then we'll.
Okay.
We have backup.
we'll start there, yeah, and then if he's not available or doesn't want to participate, we'll move on. So I'll update folks when we hear back on that. Update on tasks that we talked about at the last meeting. Linda's not here, but I'll follow up with her on bins and decorations, where she is on that.
And I'm happy to help her on that. I don't know how
Okay.
complicated it is, but I'm happy to.
I'm sure
You
she
can
would.
also help on signs.
Yeah,
gotta own something, pal.
so he
You
does.
already
He
do
owns
own it.
signs.
He's already pawning me
I
off.
owe
You see
you
that?
design and the list of what we need.
Yep.
I'll get you that this weekend.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And you just go to Staples, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just order from Staples.
Need to be handcrafted by you.
I thought I was
He's
gonna be
actually
painting
pretty
them
good.
myself.
You could probably do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then Bonnie, on volunteer recruitment, I put together kind of a rough target. I think maybe it's probably more than we need, but 20-ish. Like I went through all the places we need people, and obviously some of those people can be people on the committee. So it's not necessarily that we need to find 20. But if we do, great, and then people on the committee can be more managing those people and telling them what we need. So if you could let Allison and Christy know on that. One thing, I can't remember if it was you or Christy that brought up, I think it was you, like doing parade cleanup, possibly having a group. I didn't count that in this number, so I think that's if you think that's achievable, I think that would be a cool idea to, show that we're, as a committee, thinking about the town and taking on some of the cleanup.
Yeah, I reached out to the National Junior Honor Society staff member who's in charge of it, and we can definitely get some kids. They're pretty busy right now, so we don't have a count, but I don't think it's unreasonable to get 15 to 20 kids. I think it'll look good for, the school, look good for the town. It's a really good volunteer opportunity, so I don't see it being a problem. We just have to get kind of some commitment, like kids will always flake out at the last minute, but
Yeah.
I don't think, Christy's a teacher, we both have kids in the middle school, we'll come up with some kid volunteers, so.
Okay.
I think we can check that box off.
Okay, great. And I'll just kind of review, I guess Ty's really the only one with experience on our volunteer needs, but Ty, speak up if I'm forgetting anyone here. I'm thinking we need 2 people to get chairs from OIC. I'll email them to get permission, but, that's for the.
People and a truck.
That's, yeah, 2 people in a truck, that's for the Brewster Band, they need those chairs, and some for the judges. The biggest need is really at the staging, in the parking lot, so I was thinking 2 or 3 up top at the entrance, cause that's a hot, spot. 1 more, at the top lot, kind of at the entrance to the lower. Again, I think we had like a second filter there, making sure that people were in the right place, and if not, then they can exit.
Yeah, we had,
Um,
so thinking about the loop and
the
road,
circle,
the
yeah.
circle road, we had at least 1 or 2, if not more,
Yep.
right there, because that's the main source of entry. You had people trying to get in the wrong way here, and
Yep.
some of the big trucks came in that way. It bottlenecks kind of through there,
Yep,
at least it did last year.
yeah, because that's the check-in.
That's a check-in. And now, but this year, we were thinking that we would have, we'd direct people to park, and hopefully, people who had like kids, but were able to park and walk over, could be in the far right parking lot, which might help with some of the bottlenecking that was happening.
Yep,
So I guess all that saying that if we have similar to what we had last year, we'll probably be in better shape this year, because in theory, it'll be a little less traffic jammy. Everybody
Right.
shows up at like the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And is it in order of, as they show up, is that the order of the flow of the parade, or are people numbered?
Pretty much,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, we have 3 rows.
So it's just getting them all lined up in the right spots, and then they just start?
Yeah, we
Okay.
have 1 row, staging for bands
Mhm.
along the field, and then we have 3 other rows, so it's not necessarily the order they show up, but roughly.
Okay.
Because you can pull, you
Yep.
know,
Yes,
3 from this
Yep,
row and 1,
sure.
you know,
Perfect.
stagger them. I was thinking 3 people for check-in. I know we have at least 2 people that did it last year that'll be back.
Like by the, are you talking the check-in by the entrance, like the gym? With that,
Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, basically, yeah, before they get to the staging area, so they get their float number.
Mhm.
And.
how, just out of curiosity, how, so we're making decisions on where some of those trucks are going, like on the fly. Is there any way to like plan that ahead of time, based on most, like, because we know the size of the truck, so we can be like, most likely you're gonna go number 2.
I mean, it's really when they show up.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
It's hard to move
Are
them
your
around.
other 3
With
rows
the trailers.
organized by category?
No, just floats, general floats. There isn't really a category, it's
My
business,
OCDs.
nonprofit,
Yep.
you know.
Okay.
My OCD side was coming through there for a second, so.
Yeah, I mean, if we had a huge parking lot with like, you know, like if we were doing staging at, Nauset or something, you know,
Yeah, maybe it'll be.
it would be easier to move people around, but we're
Mhm.
kind of,
Once
we're in
they're
lanes
they're in,
there,
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
and there's barely room for,
Mhm.
you know, vehicles to get through the middle,
Yeah.
especially with all the people walking around. And then I was thinking 2 people at the lower lot, like where those lanes are,
Yeah,
making sure they're in the right lanes, and you go here and pull all the way forward. Because we kind of started to run out of space last year, and it backed up into the circle
Okay.
at the entrance.
and then people lose patience.
People get a little testy.
Mhm.
Decorators, I'll talk to Linda about this, but I was thinking 6 people for that. Parking attendance 4. I mean, sort of, we've had 2 in the past, but then parking gets a little unwieldy on the
grass.
grass.
Yeah, yeah. And we're gonna need the grass this year. We'll have the grass, but the whole goal is hopefully to fill up the other one first.
It depends. I think if people are in the parade, they want to be close to
The
their
band
float.
guys, the guys with the instruments, the
Yeah.
people with the instruments.
Yeah, or, you know, like the lifeguards show up in cars and then walk over to their big float. Other float participants parking down on the grass is,
Well, maybe we
The
can, we
best.
don't need to go into it right now, but maybe you and I can chat about like who gets a pass to go down versus
yep,
who has the ability to walk over there.
yep. good idea.
Because that would be, I mean, just last year we were like gridlocked there for a while and was backed up all the way out, like into the street.
Yep.
Yeah,
Actually, that was the only other thing that we were talking about a little bit, I think, in some of the early meetings, was if we could get an officer to be at the entrance. Less so about just making sure people behave themselves.
yeah. I had that initial conversation with OPD. I'll follow up on getting a detail if that's doable. They may need to pull from a different town, but
Yeah.
he said he didn't think that would be an issue.
And without the conference that's happening, it probably is less of a big deal this year.
Yeah. Judges, we have 2 returning from last year, so we could definitely use another judge. It doesn't have to be, but it might be nice if we have one person from the committee to be with the judges. I can speak from experience that one is my mother and the other is her friend, and you know,
Not my mother.
people, Tim, I don't think your mother, yeah. You know, people
They have to
in
be-
or near their 80s, and sometimes they get confused on which float is which, and so either a younger volunteer or somebody from the committee would be helpful there. And then the last 2 positions I was thinking of, we have, Peter O'Mara has been our parade kind of maestro for a number of years, basically telling which float to go when at the exit onto Eldridge. And then Jen Allard has pulled forward floats towards him at the very start of the parade. So having 2 people, you know, one shadow each one of those spots, pulling forward floats and then telling floats when to go. And ideally, those 2 people are from the committee. You don't have to be, but just for continuity, you know, if you see it this year, then you know what's happening next year, and we don't know if Peter will do that forever.
Was it last year or last 2 years that there was some confusion around with the floats and the
Yeah.
classic cars and stuff?
Yes, yeah, that was last year, yeah.
Yeah. Usually what happens is someone then gets out of their little classic car and runs forward and tells the floats to stop. And
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
so we can
Yeah,
avoid that.
just the order of,
Yeah.
of operations, yep. Chatham Valet, I confirmed the golf cart with them. I'll get the invoice and have it sent to the town directly. Also, that's actually something on both signs and decorations. When you find out what you want, Tom DeServo from the town told me, like, you know, the town has a Amazon account. So if you want to order stuff from Amazon,
Yeah.
you could tell him directly what to
Yep,
order,
on the list.
and then you don't have to deal with reimbursements.
Oh, that's good.
We can also see if they have something with Staples.
Yeah, they might have an account.
I will just say from experience, getting the reimbursement is a little bit of a challenge.
Okay.
Like, showing them your credit card statement and a receipt that you paid is like sometimes not enough. And I'm like,
Ah.
what else can I give you?
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. But
Who is that? That's Tom.
Tom DeServo, I can,
DeServo.
yeah, I can make the connection, but he mentioned that when I met with them
Yeah, that's great.
last fall, that, you know, managing expenses, he could help with that, or payments,
Yeah.
rather. T-shirts, so we have volunteer T-shirts. Once we know roughly how many, I guess, actually ahead of that, I'll probably just next week pull those out of storage, check inventory and sizes, and may need to order more. But we've got room in the budget for miscellaneous to cover that. And I'll confirm that Peter, our parade maestro, is willing to do that again. And Jen Allard has already told me she'll be in that position to pull forward floats
Oh, that's nice.
towards him. Anything else on anyone's mind or questions or?
How soon do you need to know when you need all those assistants, volunteers, people shadowing, stuff like that? I mean, it feels like we need to get those wrapped up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hopefully we have kind of full attendance at our meeting next month, and
Then you assign that. Okay.
yeah, or if anyone
I'm
wants
happy
to
to do whatever you
jump
need.
on any
Yeah.
one of those assignments, let me know whenever.
Okay.
We're cool on the police barricade things.
Yep, those are in storage. The town puts out some of their own, but we have, in years past, there weren't enough, so we
Yeah.
purchased some of those, I don't know how you describe them, just like police barricades, not the
Sure.
major ones,
yeah.
like the wooden ones. Yeah, DPW
sawhorses.
has them,
Yeah,
yes,
yep.
essentially sawhorses.
Yeah.
So we put those out around a couple areas where we wanna block traffic or direct traffic.
Candy?
We're,
No candy.
no,
Kidding?
yeah, we decided, I don't think you were at that meeting, there's enough floats that are doing it, that it's not, a huge need anymore.
So on
Generators.
The kids are well fed.
That was the other one, generators.
Generators, I've pretty much eliminated the need to rent those by asking, so we have, JD Martin is, probably the biggest supplier of trucks and trailers for bands. They now bring generators with their trucks
Oh,
and
that's good.
trailers.
That's perfect.
That's great.
Sure Things Environmental, Tim DeLude reached out this morning to confirm that he's in. He'll bring a generator. And Prince Landscaping might be doing a truck and trailer. I told them I need a generator if they wanna be pulling a band, otherwise they'll do a float. But, yeah, we don't need rentals,
Great.
So
which
what
which
is,
is easy.
people fill out a form if they wanna be in the parade?
Yeah,
What's
so
the
as soon as
deadline for that?
There really isn't one. I think we maybe cut it off like a couple days before, just so we can print the spreadsheet.
yeah.
But every year we have people that
People roll on it.
show up.
Just like-
Asa is one of them usually for, we always know that OIC is in it, but I think and he's usually pulling that float, but,
Yep.
If only there was someone on this committee that
I know.
could reel that guy in.
But yeah, there are people that just show up and participate, and that's fine, but.
Did you get enough always for what you need, or are you ever sort of trying to drum up business?
No, I mean, last year we were basically running out of space, so
Last couple of years.
there's no need to promote really. I already have some entry forms on the 2025 entry form because the website's not
Yeah.
updated. But I'll get that done this weekend, and then I'm sure, I know people have been checking it because they've been also emailing
Yeah.
me saying,
Mhm.
when's the new form
Sure.
gonna be on there?
I'll,
Well, that's
So
good.
people are
That's good.
apparently
Good.
rule followers.
Yeah.
I'll do a little classic car outreach.
Yep.
That sort of does its own thing.
Yeah, we get a lot of repeat customers there. There were some new ones last year, though. I think you recruited.
Yeah, hopefully they're fun.
So.
Yeah, we watched the crowds the last couple of years go a little bit more. So I didn't,
Yeah.
with it being 250, I would imagine there's a little extra excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you
Yeah.
know, we'll just have to do the best we can in the lower lot there, just making sure there's no big spaces between floats.
right.
That we
Yeah.
utilize the
Just park.
whole
Pack 'em in.
parking lot, because you can't, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have some idea from the entry forms that come in, how
Yeah.
many floats and how big their trucks are. and,
Yeah.
But we can't really control people just showing up and,
Is what it is.
yeah. So hopefully we don't
Slap a
overflow on
flag
the
on their
28.
And I'm assuming
And shut down.
the fire trucks just come and go directly into the parade, they don't,
They just line up right at the,
Okay.
at the station.
so they're usually the first, right? They lead off.
Early, yes,
Batting
they're,
lead off.
they're pretty early.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like them and then the classic cars. The classic cars are really too.
Classic cars go after the bagpipes, I think,
Those right?
yeah. Which are right behind like the, think the judges and select board and
All right.
veterans
Any
and
cars, do we need any convertibles or?
we will need certainly a convertible for Harper Wibby.
Something nicer.
We'll need a convertible for Grand Marshal, which hopefully is Tony Pearl with his old Packard.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Didn't do it last year, but he told me last year that he would do it this year. I think that's it. The judges are covered with the golf cart, and we don't provide cars for anyone else that I can think of. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Way back, there was like a Citizen of the Year, but we've kind of let that one go.
No one has met the qualification.
No.
Yeah.
Good citizens.
Um,
Oh, they can always use Smiley. On Jeep.
oh, the Wibbies. Is it
Yeah, if they
Wibby?
want to use like the Gladiator, they can use that.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Good idea. Anything else? All right.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
for the Wibbies, it's Harper, but then they have 2 daughters, and should we just say, come one, come all? Who cares, as long as they can fit in the.
It depends what vehicle we have. I think Hillary told them, she could bring a friend or a family member.
Yeah.
But if it's
The
them,
one favorite sister?
yeah,
right.
pick one.
Yeah. Yep.
But if it's them driving themselves,
What's
then-
up?
But I don't think you want all the Wibbies at the
No,
party.
especially that young one is trouble.
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah.
We have a white Gladiator that you could drive, the top down.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
They live across the street.
Yeah. There goes the neighborhood.
You know our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
All right. If nothing else, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Ty. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Christy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.